What an idiot! What an idiot!
Man, is this guy blind? For f***'s sake, man! What the f***?
From moments as unforgettable as these, to literally pushing another driver in the chest, we all know about Max Verstappen's temper. But how bad does it really get? And what happens when the four-time world champion completely loses his cool? The moments when Mad Max shows his worst face, going after other F1 drivers, and yes, even throwing punches. Let's talk about when Max Verstappen loses control.
Yeah, these tyres are already vibrating like a flat spotted for 300 meters.
We'll monitor those vibrations, Max, and yeah, we'll call you in if we start to get a little bit too concerned.
What a joke, mate. I can't even see where I'm going, so much vibration.
Understood, Max. Well, if it's a safety concern for you, we're happy to box.
Max Verstappen isn't just fast, he's calculated, brilliant, and has one of the highest racing IQs on the grid. He's won 4 world championships, dominated entire seasons, and cemented himself as one of the greatest drivers of this generation. But there's a flip side to that greatness. The same fire that makes him unstoppable on track. It can turn into an inferno when things don't go his way. And when Max loses control, the entire paddock feels it.
Yeah, Max. So this is that phase of the race where we do exactly what we spoke about in terms of tyre saving.
His engineer Giampiero Lambiase knows this better than anyone. The poor guy has had to deal with some of the most explosive radio messages in F1 history. But radio rants are one thing. Physical confrontations? That's a whole different level. Let's start with arguably the most infamous moment in Max's career. Brazil 2018, when he literally went for Esteban Ocon. Picture this. Verstappen is leading the race at Interlagos. He's about to secure his second career win. Everything is going perfectly. Then on lap 44, Esteban Ocon, who's a lap down, tries to unlap himself.
What an idiot! What an idiot!
Apex of turn 2.
Ocon's on super soft tyre. Out within the regular.
Gently misplaced.
Kimi Raikkonen from Daniel coming in and a good race from you.
Vous avez fait de belles courses sous la pression de Daniel Ricciardo. Oui, c'était pas simple.
Obviously we are better, but not the easiest. Obviously Ferrari's tyre choice didn't look like it worked out in the end. These guys looked very strong at the beginning, certainly Max on the super soft. Do you think that was wrong? I don't know, my tyre was good, but it was difficult.
Fresh tyres, faster pace, Ocon makes his move. But instead of waiting for a safe opportunity, he attacks the race leader going into turn 2. Contact. Both spin. Max's race is destroyed. Lewis Hamilton inherits the lead and wins. Max on radio. What a effing idiot. But the real drama happened after the race. In the FIA Weighbridge garage, Verstappen hunted down Ocon, and what followed was captured on camera. Max pushed Ocon forcefully in the chest. Not once, not twice, but 3 times before officials intervened.
To be fair, I was very fiery, but we wanted to race hard, and we've raced hard. We've raced really hard, and at times we crossed lines. I've enjoyed the racing with Max. I've always enjoyed. I think tough racing is always cool to me. Racing side by side, being very close.
Ocon later said, "I'm really surprised by Max's behaviour. The FIA had to stop him from being violent, pushing me and wanting to punch me. That is not professional." But Max? 0 regrets. We are all passionate about the sport. What did you expect me to do? Shake his hand like, "Thank you very much for being second instead of first." The FIA saw it differently. They ordered Verstappen to complete 2 days of public service for starting an altercation and acting in a way not appropriate for a sportsman at this level.
And can we also just have a word about this FIA situation? You had to go, you've got some sort of community. No words.
Did you change overnight? Because it seems there's been a big difference in performance, Silly.
A lot.
Can you elaborate in terms of what you've done?
No, I might get fined or get an extra day. So.
Well, look, are you confident, Max, with the race pace?
Maybe.
I mean, how much of a step into the unknown is the race, given the problems you had yesterday in practice?
It's an unknown. Yeah.
Tell us about lining up
This is
along.
not towards you, don't worry.
Okay.
The stewards understood Max was triggered and lost his temper, but they emphasized that drivers at this level must act as role models. And here's what's crazy. Even 2 weeks later at Abu Dhabi, sitting just 3 seats away from Ocon, Max still had no regrets. Fast forward to 2024, Hungary Grand Prix. This was the moment we saw Max truly unravel. After dominating the early season, Red Bull's advantage was disappearing. McLaren, Ferrari, even Mercedes were catching up. And Max? He could feel it slipping away. In Hungary, both McLarens locked out the front row. Max qualified third, but that was just the beginning of his nightmare. From the start, everything went wrong. I got pushed off. I was ahead. Don't give me that seat. You guys just said what you think and then we decide. The frustration kept building. The team gave him instructions he didn't agree with. The strategy wasn't working. And then came the collision with Lewis Hamilton at turn 1. A desperate, ill-judged lunge that saw Max lock up and literally vault over Hamilton's Mercedes. He keeps pushing me off, so why don't we just drive people off the track then? By the end, even his usually patient engineer had enough. Lambiase. I'm not even going to get into a radio fight with the other team, Max. And Verstappen's response to critics after the race. They can all FK off. But here's what Mark Hughes reported. The anger wasn't just about one bad race. Max had identified car problems as far back as Miami and felt the team didn't address them with enough urgency. This was months of frustration exploding in one weekend. Here's the thing about Max Verstappen. His temper is directly connected to what makes him great. That refusal to accept anything less than perfection. That's what drives him to 4 world championships. The fire that makes him explode on radio, that's the same intensity that lets him execute perfect overtakes at 190 miles per hour. In the 2025 season, despite Red Bull's struggles, Max has been phenomenal. His racecraft in Japan, beating both McLarens at Honda's home race, was legendary. His feedback led to crucial setup changes in Monza that unlocked massive performance. His ability to operate under pressure is otherworldly. But when that perfectionism meets circumstances he can't control, when the car isn't responding, when the strategy goes wrong, when a backmarker costs him a win, that's when Mad Max appears. As Motorsport magazine noted, he accumulated 11 penalty points over 11 months, with many stemming from moments where frustration overtook judgment. Austria with Norris, Mexico with Piastri, Spain with Russell. Each time, there was anger building before the incident. The question is, should we accept this side of Max? Some say it's passion. Christian Horner defended him after the Ocon incident. I can understand his frustration. His competitors have even called him out. Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris both disagreed with Max's punishment for swearing in Singapore, calling it a joke. But others point to the danger. George Russell called Max a bully after their Qatar 2024 clash. The FIA has repeatedly emphasized that drivers at this level must be role models. And here's what's interesting. Max himself has acknowledged growth. After Brazil 2018, he completed his public service and admitted, "It has been a good lesson for me." After Barcelona 2025, he reflected, "That was a mistake from my side, and of course, I learned from it." Those moments won't happen again next year, even if we're in a similar situation with the car. So is Max Verstappen a hot-headed driver who crosses the line? Or is he a passionate competitor who refuses to accept mediocrity? Maybe he's both. Because at the end of the day, you can't separate the genius from the rage. The same mentality that makes Max one of the greatest drivers ever is the same one that leads to these explosive moments. Love him or hate him, Mad Max isn't changing. And honestly, that's what makes him fascinating to watch. What do you think? Is Max's temper justified, or does he need to dial it back? Let me know in the comments below.